Oh yeah, we are live. Oh yeah, here we are. I'm in my fullest form. All right. Enough of that. We're just gonna go live today. Things are growing fine still here in Storm's garden. I like to experiment with these ladies. We are growing. That's a willow. That's not another plant, so don't count that one. FBI. So, a lot of stuff going on. Finally, we're in February. So the government, our state government, is doing its thing. There's over 30 new bills that are going to go before the people, I suppose, and they're going to be approved through the state if we don't do something about it. There's definitely over 30. So pay attention. Y'all going to be very annoyed by all my posts and stuff. They're very politically related, and most of them are bills that are up for approval or denial. If we need to call our local representatives and let them know what we feel about all these random bills that are going in to change 788. We voted on 788 the way it was. It's doing fine. We don't need any extra taxes or extra fees on patients. We don't need any more fees on licensing for patients or growers or processors or dispensaries, because that's where people get their medicine. All of the avenues that are going to be supposedly taxed on, and all these regulations and stuff. I don't know that much about it all, but I'm hearing some stuff, and every bill that I see, I post on my Facebook. So I've only gotten to a couple of them myself, but there's one out there that's going to allow card holders, cannabis, medical marijuana card holders, to possess a carry conceal license as well. I think this is very important, because I don't think just because you choose to take a certain type of medicine, you have your right to defend yourself taken away. I personally don't carry a gun. I know karate, but I don't know. I feel like it's a right. I feel like people, if they want to carry a gun, they should be able to do that. People that you don't have to have a license to drink alcohol or take pills, and people that drink alcohol, I don't know. I hate to throw people that drink alcohol under the bus, or people that take antipsychotics or anything like that, but if you're using cannabis as an excuse, like as something that is a random, it's a variable in someone's personality. Well, there's a lot of variables in people's personality. Anybody is capable of anything under the right circumstances. So I think you should have a license to have a kid, to drink alcohol, to take prescription pills. You should have to go through a little class to be able to get these licenses. And if cannabis is a hazard for owning a gun, then kids are a hazard for owning a gun. Drinking alcohol is a hazard for owning a gun. Taking psychotics, depression pills, anxiety pills, Adderall, like anything is a chance for something to go wrong when owning a gun. There's several different things that I think that we overlook, and we're putting our thumb on top of cannabis while we let everything else go unregulated or unlicensed or it's still a big stigma on cannabis. I'm almost done with my video. It's going. This cold weather, I might use some of this cold weather to do something. been pretty foggy lately. I'm waiting for a sunny day. I should have used that day that I was doing the flips on here for y'all to make my video. That would have been the best time. I'm working on that still. Got a couple things going. All these bills and stuff is definitely. We need to be focused on the new bills that are coming out against 788. There's over 30 of them, is what I've heard. I think some of these bills are for cannabis as well. So, but there's over 30 bills in the legislation. I think that's what it's called, for cannabis-related things. Everyone that was interested in voting on and petitioning for anything cannabis last year, you definitely should be jumping on this right now. John Fraser, he cracks me up. He says, I can only do so much. I can't go to the Capitol all the time. That's my John Fraser impersonation. Ping, ping, ping. 3, 2, 1, and ping. Here we are. He was doing really good. He got a lot of good information out on 788. He's very impromptu. He's very improvise. He improvises. He's an improviser, improv, if you will. And he did a couple things that really ticks me off back then. He still ticks me off, but he gives a lot of great information. He's just hangs around the people that have the information, and I try to share everything he shares so that it spreads out more. But it was the 420 rally last year, and it was the 788 rally, and they had just came out that they were going to start collecting signatures for Green the Vote and stuff. And John's on the stage, and he's talking about 788, and someone yells out of the crowd, and don't forget about the adult petition. And he goes, oh yeah, and don't forget about 797 and whatever those numbers were. And I was just like, what? The news was there and everything, and this is a rally for medical marijuana, and then just someone in the crowd yells, also support recreational. And John's like, hell yeah, recreational is cool too. And I was just like, ah! So I mentioned something to him. I might have been like, yeah. And he was pushing everything. He was pushing every single cannabis related thing that popped up. Bing, bing. It was ping, ping, ping. He was just doing it. And I was like, hey, John, we're about to vote. We really don't think that we should, be supporting any other cannabis petitions, especially if they're recreational, because we're literally about to vote. We should really focus on 788. Him, Uncle Grumpy, and Norma Sapp all blocked me because I was calling them out on that. And yeah, I probably shouldn't have said something on the actual post that they were posting. I should have maybe messaged them privately and been like, hey, is this a good idea? But I definitely was like, hey, we should really, every post that they posted, I was like, focus on 788. We're not supporting recreational, blah, blah, blah. And it really pissed them off. But I still really don't support recreational right now either. I feel like even if we had recreational, I feel like you should still have a license to get recreational. That's just my opinion. I'm a very opinionated person. But the whole issue this morning, I was just like really kind of surprised. I guess John's not wanting to go up to the Capitol that much anymore. I love my little weed headdress. This is great. He's not wanting to go up to the Capitol anymore. He said he just wants to focus on 788. He was that's all he was doing was focus on. I'm like, no, you weren't focusing on 788. You were doing everything else that you could, anything that you could do. And now that it's time to defend 788, you're just done. You're not gonna do it anymore. You've committed yourself to 788. You say it's time to stick with it. Now's the time we gotta friggin' call those representatives and stuff, because now they're really trying to go, because now that we're like, yay, we're all high now, and we're not paying attention as much anymore. No, we are paying attention, and we like 788 just the way it is. That's my big spiel for today. Uncle Grumpy, unblock me. I definitely want to hear what you have to say about things too, because I feel like you are sticking with it. You're the most determined out of all of them. But You gotta stick. If you did a lot for 788, now it's time to defend it. And I'm not trying to put it all on you. I'm gonna go get me a suit too. I just really, with all my, I just feel like I look like a stoner, and I feel personally like I wouldn't benefit anyone or myself or the state by going up there and supporting cannabis, because people are just judgmental. They look at me and they automatically think of everything that's wrong with the cannabis and blah blah. Well, I'm really, really, really working hard. I'm trying to curb that and make myself more presentable, but there's just certain things that I don't think that are that big of a deal, like piercings and tattoos and things like that, but they're still very frowned upon by voters. That people, not the 57%, but some of those people that are probably going to come out of the woodworks now that they've seen cannabis legalized and they don't like what's happening. They're probably going to be crawling out of the woodworks to scrutinize, cannabis, and I don't want my image to blemish cannabis's image. I should probably be less hard on myself, but I like to smoke. It helps me with my ADHD. And those people that don't like weed probably don't even believe ADHD is real either. So it's kind of like my whole, how I support cannabis is just like almost picture perfect for like, look at these damn stoners. They want weed. This one's got ADHD. Oh boy, let's give him a bunch of, yeah. No, you would rather give me Adderall? You'd rather give me pharmaceutical amphetamines than let me smoke something that I could grow myself out of the ground. Growing cannabis is probably the best therapy for someone with ADHD. You don't get immediate gratification. You have to plant a seed and you have to wait. You have to take care of it. You have to remember it. I think anyone that is going to have a kid should have to go through a gardening class. It's there's like, if you can't keep a plant alive, then what? A plant doesn't move. You just gotta stick it in a windowsill. It doesn't move or nothing. And I guess since kids move around a lot, it's hard to forget about them. But I just think there's a lot of things out there that we overlook when it comes to gun safety, when it comes to children's safety, when it comes to patient and patient safety. There's a lot of things going on. I have a lot of opinions. I'm trying to build a happy medium for, people like my grandparents that are Jehovah's Witnesses, that technically, since the law has changed, they could use medical marijuana for medical purposes. And people like my dad, who's, was a drug addict, who's on methadone, we're getting him off methadone with cannabis. Like, I'm like right there in the middle of like two crazy spectrums of people that used to not think it was okay, and people that have always thought it was okay, but they have their problems and they have their issues, and I'm bringing them together. I really feel like I have a nice happy medium that I can share with everyone. The One Hitters is a great organization. If you ever want to talk to me about how I personally got off drugs using my one hitter, it's a fun little theory. I hate to make it sound so simple, but it's pretty simple. It's kind of a 3-step, and then you gotta like create your own other 2 steps. So it's only like 5 steps if you want to go to like a traditional like step program, like the 12 steps, or like NA or AA. The steps never end. You don't ever get done with the steps. But in this one, there's only 5, and you have to make the last 2. You have to create your own steps. Well, my battery's getting low. I'm gonna get off of here. So that's about it. Make sure you call your legislators, your state representatives, your town representatives, whatever you call them, and find out the bills that interest you the most. If you can go through all of them and let your representatives know on all of them, do that. But we need to jump on all these because there's a lot, and some of them are going to probably make it through. So we need to jump on the main ones and trickle down. Thanks everyone for listening. I will see y'all next time. that's our show. Thanks for watching.